Hi friends, this is Madhu from Madhu Tech Skills Computer Education. Another interview point of education. Actually, I have prepared one separate document for interview point of view questions, but I would like to add these questions to the YouTube channel also to help all the students who are trying to get the job on Java. Okay. So in the previous classes, we have already discussed what is Java and why Java is called as both programming language and also platform. Just we have discussed about three questions. The first question is what is Java? Java is an object oriented programming language, or we can say it is a general purpose object oriented programming language. By using it, we can develop different types of applications like desktop applications and web applications, enterprise applications, mobile applications, and the applications which we can install in a TV, remote controller, and we can also develop applications which we can install in AC, fridge, microwave ovens, and set-top boxes, or even we can develop softwares which are used to lock the doors like that. If we learn Java, we can develop so many types of applications. No other language is there actually. There is no other language that is equals to Java. It is an evergreen programming language. It has lots of features. If you learn Java, you can survive very easily in the software industry. Okay. Yeah. So by using Java, we can develop these type of applications. It is called as programming language, and also sometimes we can say it is a platform. Yes, Java is called as platform because it behaves like a platform to the applications which are running, which are developed in Java. Java behaves like a platform to run the Java programs or Java applications. That's why it is called as Java is called as platform. But Java comes under software platform, not hardware platform. For example, Windows operating system is there. It is also said to be a platform. Unix operating system is there. It is also called as platform. Sun Solaris is there. That is also another operating system. Mac OS is there. Macintosh operating system. Like that, we have different types of operating systems which are used to manage the hardware components or computers. To run the computers, we have to install any one among those operating systems, isn't it? Those operating systems are platforms, and those are called as hardware platforms, not software platforms. But comes to Java, Java is a platform, but it is software platform. This platform was introduced to run the softwares or programs. That's why it is called as software platform. But Windows, Macintosh operating systems, Sun Solaris, Unix or Linux, these are used to manage the hardware components. That's why those operating systems are called as hardware platforms. Okay. Next question is here. Is JVM is, first of all, what is that question? What is JVM? JVM means Java Virtual Machine. It is a virtual machine where we can run the programs. So Java Virtual Machine is a virtual machine, or a software, or we can say it is a container where we can run the Java programs. So without having JVM, you cannot run the programs. Okay, let's start from this question. Okay, what are the most important features of Java? So comes to Java, main important feature is first thing, object oriented. Whatever the languages which were invented till now, among those languages, object oriented programming languages are the best programming languages to invent or to develop large applications. So if you want to develop large applications, object oriented programming is the best programming to develop. So this is the main advantage of Java. Second important feature is platform independent. Yes, Java is called as platform independent. If you write a program in Java, first of all, we need to compile that program. When you compile a program using Java compiler, that compiler generates bytecode. To run that bytecode, we need JVM, isn't it? So whenever you generate a bytecode, you can run that bytecode in any operating system. It's clear. So bytecode is going to run in any operating system. So write the program, compile it, bytecode will be generated. You can run that bytecode in any operating system. But in that operating system, you have to install JVM. So without having JVM, you can't run that program. So simply, Java programs are run in any operating system with the support of JVM. If you compile the program, bytecode will be generated. We can run that bytecode in any operating system, but with the support of JVM. Next feature, robust and secure. Yeah, in Java we have so many features to provide security. Even JVM also by default providing some security. For example, if you develop an applet, JVM always checks that applet whether it is virus affected or not. If that applet is virus affected, it will not load that applet into the JVM and it will not execute it. Such type of so many restrictions are there in Java. So Java is said to be more securable programming language compared with other languages. It has so many other features also. And robust. Why Java is called as robust? Robust means strongest. The programs which are developed in Java are not terminated in middle of execution. We can develop a Java program which will not terminate in middle of execution. How we can implement it? Simple. If we use exception handling in our program, the program will not be terminated in middle of execution. That's why Java is called as robust. And also, the applications which are developed in Java will not hang in middle of execution. Why these applications are not going to hang? Because here JVM supports automatic memory management. In the JVM, we have a separate daemon thread called garbage collector. That garbage collector automatically clears the objects or automatically deallocates objects from heap memory. Here, memory management is perfect. Very less chances are there to memory leakages in heap memory. So that's why our programs will not hang in middle of execution. So memory management is automatically done by the garbage collector here. When you create object, that object will be created at heap memory. And those objects are automatically deallocated, automatically removed from the heap memory whenever those objects are in or goes to out of scope. Which objects are going to deallocate? Can you tell me that? Garbage collector deallocates objects. We know that. But which objects are going to deallocate? Deleted from heap memory. The objects which are not used for a long time, and the objects which have no reference, and the objects which are in out of scope. So whatever the objects which are in out of scope are not used for a long time, or the objects which have no references, those objects are get cleared, removed from the heap memory by the garbage collector automatically. But when comes to C or C++, if you allocate memory in heap memory, if you try to allocate memory in heap memory in C or C++, you are the responsible. The programmer has to take the responsibility to remove the memory, deallocate the memory from heap memory. Okay, but comes to Java, Java automatically deallocates the memory which is allocated at heap. For example, in C or C++, if you create a node by using malloc function, malloc function, those nodes are created at heap memory. And after creating that node in heap memory, after usage completes, you have to remove that node. You have to deallocate that node by using free method or delete method. By using free method, you can deallocate that node from heap memory by passing the node address to the free or delete method. But comes to Java, no need to write the explicit code to deallocate the objects which are created at heap. That's why we can say less chances to memory leakages in Java. But in C, C++, because we write the code to deallocate the memory, if you doesn't write perfectly to deallocate the memory which is allocated at heap memory, there is a chance of memory leakages. So that's why C or C++ programs are more chances to hang when compared with what you call Java programming language. That's why Java is called as robust. Robust means strongest. Strongest means the programs will not be terminated in middle of execution, and the programs will not be hanged in middle of execution. That's the main advantage. Next, another feature is multi-threaded programming language. Yes, Java is totally depends on threads. What is the use of what is the use of threads? By using threads, by using multiple threads, we can perform more than one task at a time. By using threads, we can perform more than one task at a time. If you take the example of our computer, take our computer example. In our computer, you can process or we can run more than one process at a time. While listening to music in Windows Media Player, you may prepare your notes in MS Word. You may writing a letter. You can write a letter in MS Word. So while typing the data, you can listen to music in the Windows Media Player. Here, Windows Media Player is the process, and MS Word is another process. Or while listening to music, you may chat with your friend in Facebook. The Facebook is actually a website you are running through a browser. So that browser itself a process, and Windows Media Player where the songs are playing. The Windows Media Player is another process. Like this, we can our computer can run more than one process at a time, isn't it? Like that. If you want to perform more than one task at a time in Java, use the threads. Using threads, we can perform more than one task at a time. The main advantage of multi-threading is maximum utilization of the CPU time. Next, dynamic. Yes, Java is called as dynamic programming language. Simply, when you run the program, whatever the libraries, whatever the predefined libraries or user-defined libraries which are used in our program are loaded during execution, not before execution. That's why Java is called as dynamic. Whatever the methods, whatever the classes, or whatever the packages you have used in your program are loaded into the JVM memory only during program execution. That's why Java is called as dynamic. Some programming languages are there. In those programming languages, if you write a program and when you run that program, after writing the program, when you run the program, before execution, whatever the libraries you have used in our program, in that program are loaded before execution, not during execution. So many languages are there. In those languages, the predefined libraries are loaded into the program before execution. But comes to Java, whatever the predefined libraries or user defined libraries we are going to use or we have used in our program are loaded during program execution while program running. That's why Java is called as dynamic programming language. And last one, extensible. Java is said to be extensible or extendable programming language. In Java, we can use the native methods. Here native methods means the methods which are written in C language. In that method we can write C code also. That means in Java we are able to use the other language features, which means we are extending the Java by including other language features. That's why Java is called as extensible. Another important feature is network supported programming. In Java we can develop network applications very easily. Client server programming or distributed applications or web applications very easily. That's why it is also another most important feature. So this is the another interview point of question. Okay. Thank you for today. Please follow our channel Madhu Tech Skills. Please subscribe our channel and every day I'll upload new videos. Thank you.